The Kansas Jayhawks and the Commodores from Vanderbilt squaring off in the final game of day 2 from the Rainbow Classic, with an advancement to the championship game at stake. Vanderbilt's starting lineup. Drew Maddox really turns out to be the heart and soul of this team. His grandfather played basketball at Vanderbilt. His father played. Drew Maddox, the 3rd generation, averaging 16.5 points a game for Vanderbilt. For Kansas, they had Billy Thomas step up last night. Paul Pierce finished very strong as he steps up. Perhaps he's the man day in and day out to take the place of Raef LaFrentz. Roy Williams, 10th year, 262 wins at Kansas. Javan Bredikoff at Vanderbilt in his 5th year, 7th year coaching overall. 80 wins at Vanderbilt.
Interesting matchup tonight between these two clubs. I really think that Kansas may be a little bit more athletic than Vanderbilt, but Vanderbilt is very strong and physical on the inside, and that's something. If Raef LaFrentz was in this lineup, it would be a different story for Kansas, but they've only got 2 post guys Kansas can counter with. Let's see what happens.
This ball throw jumping center against Lester Earl.
Kansas in a man-to-man.
Handling the ball out front. Prater, the sophomore. Atiba Prater, this is his team to run.
Good handler of the basketball for Vanderbilt. Kind of got into the starting lineup last year because no one else assumed the leadership position. He did as a freshman.
Vanderbilt looking for the opening. Prater inside the lane, dishes off. This ball throw with a little baseline jumper would not go. Bates and Chenoweth battling for the rebound, and Bates takes it away. Austin Bates, the 6'10 senior, scores the first bucket of the game.
Dwayne, that's what I'm talking about. Bates at 6'9", 250, 6'10", 250. This ball throw 6'9", and 250. This is a very strong club inside.
In the Kansas end of the court, Chenoweth out front. Billy Thomas touching the ball for the first time. Robertson.
2-3 matchup zone for Vanderbilt.
Thomas back out front, a lot of movement. Pierce. Ball loose for a second. Robertson down to 5 on the shot clock, and Robertson had it partially blocked from behind, and Bates is up there for the rebound. Here comes Drew Maddox. Nice movement, but it's broken up by Pierce on a pass intended low for Despoltro. Loose on the floor again, out of the corner. Here's Robertson with a look, but passes up the shot. Chenoweth. They try to go low, and it's mishandled. They try to go in underneath to Earl.
Not a very impressive start for the Jayhawks so far. Trying to get the ball down inside as we take a look at Raef LaFrentz wearing that cast almost up to his elbow. He'll have it on for the next 6 to 8 weeks and will be sorely missed.
Broken right hand in practice here, the first day of practice in Honolulu. There's a spin and a move. Bates looking for room out to Despoltro.
Good job by Chenoweth at that time to shut him down.
Right back to the baseline, and Bates has another 2.
You know what? Bates didn't back off from Chenoweth. He went right back at him a second time.
Pierce and Bates up, makes his move off the glass, count it, and we have a whistle and a foul coming against Vanderbilt. The foul against Billy Despoltro.
One of the things you like about Paul Pierce, these are all American moves. Watch this. He's got the shot, good pump fake, goes to the baseline and draws the foul, getting the 3-point attempt.
It took Pierce a while to get started against Ohio State, but he finished that game with 22 points.
Anytime you got guys like Billy Thomas and Paul Pierce in your lineup, you know you're going to get some scoring. You see those numbers right there, most impressive. Pierce is off to a good start with that 3-point play.
Vanderbilt up 4-3 with the basketball. Prater, the sophomore, out of Stone Mountain, Georgia, handling the ball, and Maddox cannot come up with it across the baseline, so the turnover gives it back to the Jayhawks.
Good man-to-man pressure that time by Kansas.
Ryan Robertson works to the front court. Chenoweth will take a 15-footer, and Kenneth Bettman, the 7-foot freshman, converts.
It'll be a pretty powerful weapon if Chenoweth can run that offense from out there. Prater went to the double team, leaving him open from about 12 feet.
And it gives Kansas a 1-point lead in the early stages. And a block coming up here. We'll send it the other way. Against Austin Bates. That's his first foul. Away from the ball. Robertson with the pass, and now out of the corner. Here's Pierce. Will not go. Earl with a great reach comes up with a basketball. Thomas still trying to control it. Pierce works his way inside. It's going to come up short, but Earl with the rebound right back up and in. Lester Earl very active.
Lester Earl was the leading rebounder in their game win the other night with 8 rebounds. Gradually working his way into this lineup. Going to be a very important part of it before this year's out.
4th game for Earl. Here's Bates hitting again. He has all 6 Vanderbilt points.
That's a guy about 6'10" who can go out there and shoot it, and a turnover. Robertson gives it up, and Vandy's going to get it back.
Prater forced the turnover. So Vanderbilt will get the basketball right back, down 7-6. Prater started 9 games as a freshman last year. More and more playing time as the season progressed. Despalto walk. So it's going to go back to Kansas. Jayhawks winning over Ohio State 69-56. Finished that game with a 23-7 run to pull away.
It was really a nip and tuck battle for about 30 minutes.
Here's Pierce. Count that one. So Pierce picking up where he ended that game against Ohio State. He has 5 of the 9 Kansas points.
Bates tried to work against Chenoweth down in there.
Prater trying to use a screen. Now back to Despalto. He jumps it. Not going to go. Robertson comes up with it, and Earl running the floor, but Robertson didn't have a handle on the pass. Ball loose and finally picked up by Despalto. Here's Bates. Baseline jumper. Bates has 8.
I think that's one of the strengths of their inside game. Here's a guy 6'9", 250 shooting it from 15 feet. And that's not unusual for him. He's got that kind of range.
Now Pierce goes the baseline. He just divided the Red Sea there and right down the baseline.
He's got range from there, too.
Kansas by 3.
So quick to the basket.
Prater trying to work off the Bates screen down to the corner to Maddox. Here's Bates, 15-footer. So Bates has 10 quick ones. All of the Vanderbilt points belong to Austin Bates, the 6'10" senior out of Waverly, Tennessee.
Somebody's got to come and guard him for Kansas.
Here's Chenoweth working against Bates. It will roll off. Pierce right back. Very aggressive to the offensive board and converts for 2.
This is the Pierce and Bates show.
It's 9 for Pierce. Prater working against Robertson. In trouble. Off to the corner. Bates low against Chenoweth. Got it. So Bates with 12.
Oh, my.
His average is 14 and a half. Tied for second leading scorer on the team. Here's Thomas filling it. Billy Thomas, he was red hot in the win over Ohio State. He has a 3. 16-12 Kansas.
Are they going back again?
And a whistle. They're trying to go into Bates. And a whistle against Kansas. Charge this one to Chenoweth. So it's Pierce and Bates. And here's an example of Paul Pierce. 16-12 Kansas. Kansas with a 4-point lead. Vanderbilt relying on Austin Bates, the 6'10" senior, showing a good touch.
Well, watch the way he gets his points. Now, here's the little turn coming across. Free throw line extended from about 16 feet. Buries it. But watch the versatility of his game. Now he receives it with his back to the basket. He's got Chenoweth on his hip, turns and fades away. Yeah, he's got all 12, and it just goes to show you what he can do inside and outside. Austin Bates getting it done.
Kansas will come out of the timeout, inserting Nick Branford and Kenny Gregory into the game, along with Earl, Robertson, and Thomas.
I figure
LaPointe and Dan Lange.
I figure if Bates keeps up at this rate, he's going to end up with about 86.
So the 2 new insertions for Vanderbilt. Inside LaPointe. Bobbled it, but Maddox there goes inside to Bates, who puts it up. Would not go, and Earl is there to come up with the partially blocked shot anyway. The launch, and count that one again. Billy Thomas. Thomas has 6 off 2 threes. 19-12 Kansas.
Jayhawk still in a man-to-man defense. Doing a little switching there. Earl's got Bates. We'll see if Vandy decides to go back to him. A good screen for Maddox.
Maddox down to Bates into the corner. Prater. This is a 3. Count it.
Nice pass by Bates. They converged on him quickly. They shut the defense in on him, and ball came right back out to Prater.
Prater a 35% percentage from 3-point range. Cashed it in. Earl backing in. Now turns against LaPointe. Counted for 2. So Earl in the book with 4.
Well, Kansas off to a great start. Getting baskets outside and inside.
Much different than the game last night against Ohio State. Now Maddox from long range, not going to go on Earl. Earl finds Gregory, and Gregory finds Robertson for 2.
Nobody back for Vanderbilt. Somebody left the gate open, and Kansas just ran right through it. Bates again.
Floats it up there, in and out. Robertson grabs the ball.
That might have been the easiest shot he had. Nice pass.
Branford with a pass to Earl. Kansas functioning on all cylinders right now. Enough for Vanderbilt to call for the 22nd timeout.
What a great look and delivery by Nick Bradford. On the wing, and Lester Earl breaking to it. Ryan Robertson gets him the basketball, left side, quick delivery. Look at Earl, strong to the basket.
And Larry, if last night Kansas came out a little confused and wondering where they were to go without LaFrance, tonight they have no indecision at all.
I thought Lester Earl was going to have to pull his shootout for that one. He was so high up.
Kansas storming out now to a 10-point, 25-15 lead.
You'd have told Jan Van Bredikoff at this point with 12:44 to go you'd be shooting 58%. He'd say, I'll take it. Yeah, but you're down 10.
Welcome to Kansas and the number 3 team in the country.
25 points already.
James Strong has reported into the game off the 22nd timeout for Vanderbilt. This ball through, it will not drop for him, and Earl is there waiting for the rebound. Robertson Earl just inside the top of the circle, converts for another 2.
Well, they can't miss.
8.
Wow. Some kind of shooting exhibition Kansas is putting on right now.
47-15. Angie looking to get rid of it, and he throws it away. Pierce is there to take the pass, overthrown, intended for LaPointe. Gregory works his way in and is fouled. I think Maddox got him on the arm.
And they're going to say he was in the action of shooting, too. Watch the move across the lane right here. And a good one. Kenny Gregory, freshman from Columbus, Ohio. Yeah, he started to go up. I agree with that one.
So Gregory will be going to the line to shoot 2 on the first foul against Drew Maddox. Kansas with Earl still in there trying to get Chenoweth back. Looking at 2 shots here for Gregory, so a little confusion. Gregory to the line. Out of Columbus, Ohio. An explosive athlete.
One more, guys.
And this one rims out. He struggled at the line. Now Chenoweth reports in, replacing Earl.
Kenny Gregory, one of those McDonald's All-Americans, very highly recruited coming out of high school. Opted to choose the University of Kansas. Highly regarded among his peers. The guys who have to play against him.
Yep. Strong. It's a 27-15 contest. Kansas has been red hot.
Look how quickly they cover down on the ball. Great defense. Good position. Body low. Feet are moving.
Vanderbilt, a shot by Maddox, not going to go. But Despaltro is there to put it back up and in with his first 2. Every shot, every pass for Vanderbilt is contested. Pierce tied up by LaPointe and fouled.
I'm going to tell you, Paul Pierce gets the basketball that low on the block. He is not going to be stopped. You are either going to foul him or he's going to get a basket. Look at this. Good position. Spread low. Call for the ball. Baseline move. LaPointe could do nothing but grab him on the arm.
And now Pierce has 2 shots coming. This one will not drop one. He's a 72% shooter.
3 in a row now that Kansas has missed at the free throw line.
McGrath into the game for Kansas. Bates back in, replacing LaPointe. Pierce trying to hit double figures here, and does. With 11:22 left in the first half, Kansas out to a 28-17 lead. Timeout. Kansas has broken out to this big lead, 28-17. The Jayhawks red hot. Kansas right now 12 of 16 from the floor. Vanderbilt 8 of 15.
You know, Dwayne, I got the feeling last night watching Kansas play that oftentimes that Kansas club kept looking in there for LaFrentz.
Yep.
And now I think they've realized he's not there. We're going to have to play without him. And they've come out tonight. I mean, they've come out burning the nets.
Now, who was it? Matt Doherty, who said during one of the timeouts, they called him together and said, fellas, he's not there.
He's not there.
Lange with the basketball for Vanderbilt. Bates. He's done the bulk of the scoring so far for the Commodores. Strong running the point. We're down to 7 on the shot clock. Strong low for Lange.
I don't know how he got it to go in. He was off balance, falling away. Had somebody bump him, and he still got it off the glass.
And Lange out of Benton, Kentucky with a pair. Here's Bradford working inside, and there's a travel. Nick Bradford. Take a look at Lange's basket.
Lange off the bench, again contributing. He got 10 the other night in Vanderbilt's win. Look at this. He's falling backwards, stepping over people, and he still got it to go in.
Drew Maddox handling the basketball against McGrath. McGrath gave Kansas some very good minutes against Ohio State coming off the bench. McGrath, an acrobatic shot along the baseline. It's a 7-point game now.
How in the world did Maddox get that to go in?
Chenoweth spins to McGrath. Gregory Chenoweth turns over Bates. Not going to go to Spaltro with a rebound. One thing about Vanderbilt, even though they get down, they're going to be steady. Yep, there's a double dribble that turns it over. That's a tough mistake by Vanderbilt, giving the ball back to Kansas.
That's going to happen to you when you play against Kansas, because they're going to set that defense up, let you bring the ball down, then put the pressure on you as soon as you come across that line. They're very intelligent about where they make their double teams and their traps.
Earl back for Kansas. Prater into the lineup for Vanderbilt. Here's Pierce cutting inside. Back out McGrath. Takes it inside, and a nice bounce pass low, finding Earl for 2. Earl in double figures, 10 of the 30 Kansas points. Prater back to Spaltro. Down to the corner, a long 3 attempt by Ford, no good.
Good rebound by Chenoweth.
McGrath looking for Gregory. He lets it fly a little long. Ball back to him on the 3 attempt. Takes it inside and lays it off the glass.
See, nobody there to block him out. Ford went for the block. Easy one for Gregory.
Prater to Ford, and he is hammered down there. Shot blocked, no whistle. Earl to Pierce. Kansas back in possession of the basketball. Pierce had it slapped from behind by Maddox, but Chenoweth picked it up and drops it through. 34-21.
Chenoweth starting to show some aggression out there. Roy Williams probably feeling pretty good about that right now.
They considered him one of the top 5 big men coming out of high school. This one picked off by McGrath, but Maddox reclaims it. Baseline, floats it up. It will not go. Ford keeps it alive, but McGrath pulls it out of there. Pass for Gregory off his fingertips and out of bounds. Here comes LaPointe back in for Vanderbilt. Kansas makes a change. Nick Bradford returns. Chenoweth to the sideline.
One thing Kansas has been able to do so far is shut down Drew Maddox, and the guy that's getting that done is Billy Thomas.
Robertson back in. McGrath gone for the time being for Kansas.
I don't think Billy Thomas receives as much credit as he is due for his defensive work.
Here's Maddox with a look.
Good screen out that time. Bradford keeping Ford away from the basket.
Bradford down to Pierce. Pierce started red hot from the get-go tonight. Pierce, this is a 3. Not going to go this time. Bates down with it. Prater looking down court. Bates is low, and Bates turns and pops again. So Austin Bates, who started red hot, comes up with a bucket. He has 14 of the 23 for Vanderbilt.
He likes that position over there, doesn't he? Back to the basket, about 12 feet out.
Very soft touch from 10 or 12 feet. Earl with a pass to Thomas. Look what I found. Wide open, but not good this time. Earl. Robertson returns to Pierce. Thomas back in with a tip. Another effort and put that one back up and in from Billy Thomas.
Kansas all over that backboard.
7:19 to play, first half. Kansas opening a 13-point advantage. Point looking for Bates. Earl tries to step in, and Bates to the glass. Earl went for the steal, and Bates beat him.
Bendy needs to do something on this defensive glass. Kansas getting a lot of second and third opportunities.
Baseline counted for Earl. The transfer from LSU. Well, Kansas red hot. That's 12 for Earl.
They haven't missed many shots here in the first half, and what they have missed, they've been able to go back and get.
Here's Bates. And a whistle. Foul against Robertson. We have a timeout with 6:43 to play, and Kansas building this 38-25 lead on Vanderbilt.
These clubs are doing that, and they haven't hurt their percentages so far in these first 12 minutes.
Kansas hitting 65%, 52% for Vanderbilt, and the Commodores are down by 13. Maddox high to the point. Ford and Thomas is there to check in. Now DeSpaltro with about an 18-footer is not good. Kansas back. Bradford in the corner. Low for Earl. Robertson darts in. Thomas and Prater's with him. Earl has to reverse. It will not go. LaPointe with a rebound. Prater takes it inside. It's a little high off the glass and will not drop. Thomas rebounding. Robertson left lane. Chenoweth against LaPointe. Back out Robertson. Thomas.
Vandy doing a much better job internally on their defense.
15-footer. Thomas. It will not go. LaPointe has it knocked away, and a whistle coming against Thomas. That's his first.
Last couple of trips down the floor, Vanderbilt's defense internally has been much better. Kansas not able to get those easy shots and those quick stickbacks after they have missed.
Tiva Prater working the point again. DeSpaltro peels off. Fake turns and will put it up.
Earl kind of gave up on it.
Yep.
You know, after he shut down the dribble, I think he backed off trying to look for somebody to pass to, and DeSpaltro kept right on going.
That's 4 for DeSpaltro. Chenoweth off the glass, missed the shot, could not finish. LaPointe brings it back to Prater. Prater pops. This is a 2. Will not go. That ball is out of bounds. Here comes Pierce back in, and Bates set to report back for Vanderbilt as well. Kansas will get the basketball.
Here comes the offense back in on both teams.
Yep, that's right. Pierce and Bates. That's the story of this one so far.
Half-court trap. Tough to do.
Right back. It won't go for Bradford. Ford. 2 white jerseys back. Down the lane. Count that one to DeSpaltro. DeSpaltro a force. He is a big man coming down the lane.
Nice pass by Prater, too.
Over Bates by Pierce. Bradford with a rebound. It will not go. Here comes Pierce flying in. And a foul.
That
Pierce.
one was pretty easy to call.
Pierce, a little over-aggressive, came flying through.
Bates was just standing there. He probably thought an asteroid had dropped out of the sky.
That's the first against Pierce. Here's Vanderbilt with a chance to close the gap a little bit. Ford departs. Langley back into the game. The sophomore.
I think he's been playing pretty well off of the bench. Actually started a lot last year as a freshman. Got some good size in there. Better at the power forward position, probably, or the small forward than the power forward position.
Another whistle, this one away from the ball, and it's going to be Pierce again, who quickly has picked up 2 fouls. Pierce working against Austin Bates. Maddox to initiate the inbound. DeSpaltro. Bates. Maddox comes down, and Thomas defending against him out of the corner. That ball is deflected out of bounds. It'll belong to Vanderbilt. Lange's shot blocked down there out of bounds.
Once again, Vanderbilt, though, having difficulty finding people to pass to. Lange was in that corner, and everybody ran away from him. It's like no one wants it.
Bates puts it up. It will not go, but he is fouled. Robertson will be charged with the foul, sending Bates to the line. Second foul against Robertson. National Car Rental Bowl week continues tomorrow at 8 Eastern from the Alamo City. Builders Square Alamo Bowl would be tonight on the East Coast. Oklahoma State, number 24 against number 16 Purdue. The Builders Square Alamo Bowl. Bates from the line. Been close to 70% all year and converts this one. Well, Robertson will leave, and C.B. McGrath returns. That's 17 already for Bates. He had 25 against Ohio State earlier this year.
This is a guy averaging 14 a game.
This one rolls off. Chenoweth steps in to grab it. McGrath for the Jayhawks. A little over 4 minutes to play, first half. Kansas by 8.
Vandy staying in that 2-3 matchup. Kansas trying to work it back to the inside.
Branford with the hook along the baseline, edge of the backboard, and down to Bates. Prater. The Kansas defense is back. And there's a double dribble. Turnover gives it right back to Kansas with 3:41 left to play in the half. Timeout, Kansas by 8. Kansas leading Vanderbilt by 8 from the Rainbow Classic, final game of the second day of play here in the semifinal round. These two teams have been hot from the floor all night. Kansas still at 50%. Vanderbilt just dropping under 50% at 48. But Kansas dominating the rebounding department.
What's killed Vanderbilt? They've been trying to come back on Kansas, but just like this last possession with Prater with that double dribble along the sideline. If you're trying to come back, you can't turn the ball back over to the club that's got you down.
C.B. McGrath, the 5'11" senior point guard, in for Robertson. Inside Pierce and back out again. Pierce will pop it for 3.
What kind of weapon is he? Strong and physical, get it to the basket, put it on the floor, and can shoot the 3.
So it's an 11-point game. DeSpaltro's shot's not going to go. Thomas up for the rebound. This is Gregory. Well, Pierce came into this game hitting 45% from three-point range. This one will not go. The putback attempt by Pierce rolls off. Prater back.
Boy, as Kansas shut down Maddox. Give Billy Thomas a lot of credit.
DeSpaltro looking to get rid of the ball and cannot in time. Could not advance the ball, and it goes right back to Kansas.
Jan Van Bredikoff looked at DeSpaltro and said, put it on the floor. Just dribble the ball and you'll keep it alive until somebody gets open.
Here's McGrath down to the corner for Thomas. Low. Chenoweth could not get into the pass from Lester Earl.
You know, that's a tough pass right there, Dwayne, because it was really a hard pass. That's one where you kind of just drop it down in there. You can't throw a bullet when the guy's only 6 feet away from you.
Prater working against McGrath. Here's Bates turning off to DeSpaltro. On that spot again. This time he puts it on the floor, and it's rejected by Earl. DeSpaltro wanted the goaltend that came down to Bates. Now Prater. Here's a 3 attempt, rolls off. Thomas with a rebound. Earl and Gregory get down that floor. McGrath back to Chenoweth. Low for Earl. DeSpaltro with a block. Vanderbilt back. Maddox. We haven't heard from him much. Bates low. Despaltro turns against Earl. Count it.
Well, that time he got it up over Earl.
That's 8 for Despaltro. 1:35 to play in the half. McGrath. Earl swings it to Thomas. Thomas, long range three this time. Will not go. Bates up there with a big rebound. Big possession for Vanderbilt now. They could cut it. This ball low, rolls off for Despaltro's second effort, and Earl will not allow it. Oh, a chance there to get to within 7. Now McGrath with a minute left to play in the half. Earl has it knocked away, right back to him. It will not go, and a foul going to be called here against Thomas on the back with just under a minute left to go. Be sure and stay with us at halftime. We'll switch to ESPN News for an update on the big stories today. University of Rhode Island and number 8 Stanford, and of course an update on the bowl season in the midst of all of that. This foul sends Maddox to the line. Maddox with 2 on the night.
Nice to see a lot of people lined up along the free throw line. You know, we were experimenting back earlier with some of the tournaments where clubs were only allowed to put 5 players on the line. Now you can see 8 of them lined up along that free throw line.
Maddox converts both. So it's a 7-point game. 4 points for Maddox. Kansas with the lead in the ball.
Vandy was a little bit of a mini comeback here.
Thomas, and now a whistle. There's a hold as Gregory took the pass. And the hold is against Linky.
Only the 5th team foul against Vanderbilt, so they've actually got 1 more to give before they put Kansas in the bonus.
46 seconds left in the half. McGrath to initiate the inbound. Floats it out front for Thomas. Prater deflects it into the backcourt, and we've got a back and forth violation. This is going to be interesting. Roy Williams saw it the way we did. I thought Prater deflected it back.
You know, you're allowed to throw the ball into backcourt from out of bounds. The question is, did he have possession?
And that's exactly what Roy Williams is saying. Prater puts it up, not going to go. Thomas rebounds. Gregory already down court and finishes the play.
That's what you were talking about earlier, how quickly he gets down the floor.
43-34 with 20 seconds to play in the half.
Oh, look at McGrath. He gave them good minutes the other night against Ohio State. He comes out there and gives their guards a blow. Good pass to Bates.
And Bates' shot would not drop. He is fouled. 8 seconds left to play.
Benny has a lot of success taking the ball to the inside, and it's usually Bates that they go to with that good low pass, good low spread out formation for him. He receives the ball and goes straight to the baseline, quick to the basket.
Second foul on Chenoweth. 2 shots coming for Bates. Well, Bates, a very good foul shooter, misses that one. But converts this one to make it an 8-point game. Now Bates departs. In his place, Gianni Cugini makes an appearance from the Vanderbilt bench. 8 seconds left as McGrath moves into the front court. Vanderbilt thought he turned it over. And here's Thomas hitting a 3. Thomas, a big 3 to end the first half of play. 11 for Thomas. Lester Earl had a big first half with 12 points on 6 of 8 from the floor. And Kansas has built a 46-35 lead over Vanderbilt going into the locker room at the half.
ESPN's presentation of NCAA basketball is brought to you by Honda. Vehicles designed to help simplify your life.
Jayhawks up 11. We're coming on ESPN. We'll take you back for the second half. Kansas up on Vanderbilt 46-35. You've been watching ESPN News.
Back at halftime, Jayhawks leading the Commodores from Vanderbilt 46-35 with Larry Connolly doing stats. Despite this spread at halftime, an 11-point ball game, it's been fun to watch because these two teams have done some good things.
Well, they set out just scorching the nets. Both clubs were shooting the ball very well, kind of cooled off. Couldn't expect them to shoot that way all throughout the game. But obviously Kansas has found something new, somebody new that they can go to, and it's Lester Earl. Look at that finish down inside. But not only offensively, he was doing it defensively. Maddox trying to drive. He sends that one back to midcourt. But it was Austin Bates for Vanderbilt who carried the load early. This guy didn't miss anything. In fact, he made his first 6 shots. He was doing everything Vanderbilt needed on offense.
A lot of basketball to go. Second half coming up with Kansas leading Vanderbilt 46-35.
ESPN's presentation of NCAA basketball is brought to you by the new Dodge. It's about change.
Twenty minutes of basketball left from the Rainbow Classic semifinal round. Kansas with a 46-35 lead over Vanderbilt at the half. And as we break down the numbers in the first half, pretty good shooting, although Vanderbilt fell to 41% and the Jayhawks under 50% at 48%. They have dominated the boards.
Rebounding, there's one team rebound thrown in there for Kansas, so the numbers are actually 27-15. Offensive rebounds 9 for Kansas, and a lot of those were stickbacks. How about the double figure scoring for Kansas? Pierce, Earl, and Thomas all up there already in the first 20 minutes. And of course, Austin Bates really carried Vanderbilt in that first 20 minutes.
Maddox with just 4 points, 2 of those from the line in that first half. Bates with just 1 field goal and 5 attempts. Kansas with a basketball to start second half play. Pierce and Chenoweth, Earl, the big people out there. They have Thomas and Robertson to complete the 5 for Roy Williams.
Vanderbilt stays in that matchup zone defense.
Rader and Maddox. Bates on the floor. Ford out there. And here's a jumper by Earl. No good. Thomas comes out of there with a basketball, and Robertson will pop it. Count that one.
See, there's another offensive rebound to give Kansas another opportunity. Ryan Robertson shooting 47% coming into this game from three-point land.
And it's 49-35. Despoltro. And Maddox, and he misses from the corner.
Well, Maddox cannot get untracked.
Thomas, and a nice pass to Earl, who is fouled. Earl goes down, hit across the face. Prater charged with a foul, his first.
Ryan Robertson giving the ball up. Thomas gets it, gives it right to the left side, and ooh, it's a tough foul right there. Prater getting right across the face of Lester Earl.
If it had a helmet, it would have been a face mask call. Didn't go to the line.
5 yards and 2 free throws.
Earl with a good first half. He has 13 points.
You know what? Not only did he have those points, how about 9 rebounds in that first half?
You know, Thomas in double figures in scoring, and he had 6 rebounds. Pierce fights to put it back, and a whistle. Well, not a good turn of events for Vanderbilt here.
Well, the one thing you don't want to do is come out of the locker room having battled back to get respectable, at least to an 11-point deficit. And Vanderbilt all of a sudden gives it back to Kansas, and now Kansas with an opportunity to jump out to a 19-point lead.
Despoltro the foul. Pierce misses the shot. And you'll recall before Thomas hit that 3-pointer, things could have been much different at the half for Vanderbilt. Now another hole for Vanderbilt, down 52-35. Bates turns and pops, counted.
He loves coming across that lane and just taking about a step or 2 away from that block, turning and facing. Now he's got 20.
Robertson goes to the other side. Thomas to the baseline. Chenoweth. Robertson comes out to help Pierce.
Vandy stays in that matchup zone.
Pierce wanted to go baseline, but a little trouble finding the handle. They're down to 5 on the shot clock, and Robertson takes care of that with a shot a little long. Thomas comes down with a rebound.
A lot of offensive rebounds for this Kansas team tonight. They're taking full advantage of them.
Pierce behind Chenoweth, picked up by Prater, who's on his way to the basket, and he lays it up and in for a pair. 52-39. Kansas actually had committed one more turnover in the first half than Vanderbilt. Robertson looking toward the corner, and it's knocked away by Maddox, who could not save it from going out of bounds. Good effort by Drew Maddox.
They reset the shot clock, and I don't think possession has changed.
Sometimes you got to anticipate in this game, and I think they did.
17:57. Put 15 seconds on the shot clock.
I think I heard them say they're going to put 15 seconds on the clock.
15 seconds.
So the shot clock will be at 15. Robertson takes the inbound.
Only players are allowed to anticipate.
And Robertson converts. Didn't make any difference for Kansas. 54-39.
Bates battling Chenoweth down inside. He wants the ball again.
Maddox couldn't get it to him. Ford takes it inside. Heavy traffic. Chenoweth up for the ball ahead to Pierce. There's Thomas beating Pierce. Count it. And another whistle.
You know, Kansas.
Spaltro trailing.
Excuse me, I was going to say Kansas is one of those basketball teams that runs that delayed break about as well as anybody. After that initial wave goes by, you've always got somebody trailing the play. Look at this. Pierce comes right down the middle. Good give and go.
Pierce shooting one shot.
Paul Pierce trying to convert a three-point play. His bucket has made it 56-39. Pierce started strong. He has 18. Here comes Greg LaPointe back into the game, replacing Spaltro. Prater handling the basketball for Vanderbilt. Maddox, what a tough night. Maddox has had to work hard.
Yeah, Billy Thomas is the one that's created the problems for Maddox tonight. You know, oftentimes you find a guy who's good both offensively and defensively. Bates travels with the ball. Billy Thomas can score, but he also can defend. What a great all-around player he is.
The turnover by Bates gives it right back to the Jayhawks. Pierce. Maddox tries to go for the steal from behind. Now Thomas baseline hangs, and it's not going to go. LaPointe with a rebound. Prater ahead, broken up by Thomas. Bates got a hand in there. Thomas and Bates battling, and Thomas, who broke it up, is going to be charged with a foul. Billy Thomas was the man to lead them against Ohio State. Charged with his third foul on that one. Out front, and Pierce gathers it in on the pass intended for Bates. Pierce takes it right to the bucket and dunks it.
Kansas so tough guarding, not only when the ball's coming down the floor, but also the inbounds play.
He has 20, and that's the spread, 59-39. Prater against Robertson. We're seeing a good Kansas team tonight.
Yeah, they picked it up. The realization, I think, has set in that Rafe LaFrentz is not going to be around, and now they've all picked their game up.
LaPointe baseline, counting for two. That's his first bucket.
I think it's an important psychological point for them, too. I mean, for them to step out here and play the way they played tonight, working their way to try to get into the Rainbow Classic Championship game tomorrow night.
Earl Shop rolls off. The winner of this game will play Hawaii. Oh, there's a pass ahead. Ford off the glass and in.
Prater made a nice,
Ford.
Yeah, nice bounce pass to Ford.
Ford's first bucket of the game. Chenoweth off the top of the circle. Robertson on the right side. Closing in on 15 minutes to play. Pierce throws it behind Robertson in a battle for the basketball. Robertson got back there to try to defend Prater. Prater comes away with a bucket. That's 7 for Prater tonight. Pierce, and now they want a 20-second timeout. Kansas calling for the 22nd timeout, leading 59-45 with 14:55 left to play. Coming up New Year's Day on ABC Sports, the granddaddy of them all, the Rose Bowl at 4:30 Eastern. Number 1 Michigan, Washington State in at number 7. Charles Woodson trying to lead the Wolverines to the national title. It would be the first since 1948 for Michigan.
Roy Williams a little upset with his club right now. They've given 6 points back to Vanderbilt. Didn't especially like what he saw on offense on that particular trip, so he called him over to get them organized. Good timeout. Here's a Jayhawk doing a little surfing out by Diamond Head. Yeah, we see him.
Despaltro's back in the game, replacing Bates for Vanderbilt. Jayhawks with a basketball. Nick Bradford in for Kansas. They're down to 2 on the shot clock, and this one is launched in front of the rim and out. Strong working inside at the line to Prater.
Jan Van has called play number 1. As he tried to go to Despaltro. Good job by Bradford to shut him off.
And now it's Thomas on the intercept on the pass intended for Strong. And Thomas turns it into 2. Billy Thomas, the senior from Shreveport, has 13 tonight. He's averaging a little better than 14 a game.
Vanderbilt just cannot get a good look at the basket nor a clean pass that won't go touch. Nice play inside by Strong.
And even that was contested. Not easy. 61-47. Inside a nice spin by Gregory. Comes up a little short as Despaltro grabs it. Gregory, the freshman, showing some move ability. Prater got it to drop, but a whistle.
Prater took that down the lane. Usually you see some help when one of the guards for Kansas is beaten. Robertson was beaten. Prater had a step on him, and nobody came to help.
But the whistle nullifies all of that. 61-47. Timeout with 13:34 left to play. Kansas holding a 61-47 lead over Vanderbilt. The winner of this game advances into the title game here at the Rainbow Classic. Hawaii with a convincing win over Nebraska prior to this contest, 87-62. So the Rainbows continue to improve. They are 9-1 and a pretty good basketball team.
For those of you who have not had a chance to take a look, as we take a look at some of the NBA scouts, if you haven't had a chance to see the backcourt combination that Hawaii has, Alika Smith and AC Anthony Carter, you got to tune in and watch those guys. They are really terrific.
The inbound back to Strong, and Bradford's back there to defend. Now a man advantage. Prater starts to attack. Strong, and Bradford gets back as Strong pops for 2.
Sophomore out of Huntsville, Alabama, looking pretty good off of that bench.
61-49. The freshman Chenoweth out front, top of the circle. Down to Bradford. Bradford takes it inside, and the pass baseline. Gregory keeps it alive, tries to reverse, not going to go. Comes up with the ball in the corner.
Nice
Here's
pass.
a pass to Chenoweth, who is fouled.
Boy, Bradford with a nice look in there. He threw just a laser down inside there to Chenoweth.
Strong fouled him.
Watch this. A little move to the basket will draw the defense, and when they come to you, just drop it into somebody in a white shirt on your team. Nice look, nice pass by Nick Bradford.
And Eric Chenoweth, the 7-foot freshman out of Villa Park, California.
Dwayne, we've already got Kansas with 12 offensive rebounds, so they continue to dominate the glass. Take a look at this, 12-5. And a lot of those offensive rebounds have given them opportunities to come back and score again, or they've actually put them back in after they've gotten the rebound.
McGrath re-enters the game for Kansas. Chenoweth completing his trip to the line. Misses this one. LaPointe with a rebound. LaPointe, Maddox in there with Strong. Ball loose, picked up by LaPointe. There's a pass to Lange, and he cannot get it to drop. Billy Thomas back for the Jayhawks. Chenoweth, and he is pushed when he received the pass, pushed by LaPointe. Stops the clock at 12:43.
I would say LaPointe was in a disadvantage there. He just put his arm in the middle of his back and shoved him.
Back into the game is Lester Earl, the 6'8" sophomore, replacing Chenoweth. Out to Gregory. McGrath continues to do a nice job out front. Shot long by Pierce, grabbed by Maddox. Maddox, good court sense there. Sense of where he was and the defenders behind him. Bates turning baseline against Pierce. Nice job by Pierce. LaPointe couldn't put it back. It's out of bounds. Pierce couldn't find a handle, and boy, some active defense underneath by Pierce.
Well, a few times we've seen Vanderbilt go to war on that offensive glass. That time they were up there. Bates was there, as was LaPointe.
LaPointe and his man in the air missed the shot, but draws the foul. It's going to come against Lester Earl. Vanderbilt trying to build a little bit of a run, but boy, it's tough against Kansas.
Well, you got to take baby steps before you can run. They're taking baby steps right now before they can get back and walk a little bit.
LaPointe has 3. He's a 62% shooter. Kansas playing without Rafe LaFrenz.
Matt Doherty, one of the assistant coaches for Kansas, to his left.
It will not go down, but Strong comes, waits now off to LaPointe, and we're going to get a travel call. It's an 11-point game. At one point here, Kansas had a 20-point lead, so slowly Vanderbilt trying to chip away with over 12 minutes to play. That's a big hill. Pierce. Earl swings it over to McGrath. Thomas launches one. Ball back to him, baseline, follows it with 2.
Well, nobody there to pick up that loose ball on the floor, and Billy Thomas just worked his way over there to get it.
McGrath deflected by Thomas, saved from going out of bounds, and Strong picks it up on the save by Bates. Lange and Gregory's all over him. That ball out of bounds, a pass intended for James Strong. Timeout on the floor, 63-50 with 11:31 left. Kansas led by 11 at the half. At one point built a 20-point advantage. It's now 13 with 11:31 left to play. Kansas with the lone loss, that to Maryland. Coming in 15-1. They won 7 straight for Roy Williams. Vanderbilt coming in at 10-1. That loss was to St. Louis U.
Yeah, Dwayne, we talked a lot to Roy yesterday about the schedule, about the fact that he's played so many games early. In fact, if he makes the run all the way to the championship game of the NCAA, he potentially could play 40 games, which is what Kentucky played this past year.
Kansas basketball, McGrath playing the point into Pierce inside, takes Bates in there. Would not go, and LaPointe with a rebound. Comes Prater. And the jumper is not going to go. McGrath covers up. McGrath quickly back, and it's broken up. Nice play by Prater, and a long baseball pass the length of the court to Bates, who puts it up and in. Bates has 22, and it's back to an 11-point game, 63-52.
How about the recovery by Prater down there to come up with that defensive play and then make that long pass?
McGrath down to the corner. This is Gregory. Over LaPointe, rolls off. Thomas with a rebound. Way out front, McGrath. Strong trying to break it up. McGrath starts to attack. Pierce inside. Bates fouled him. Bates claiming that Pierce trying to clear out with an arm and the push away, but that's the second foul on Bates.
Well, if in fact it was, in the NBA you get that call. In college basketball you do not.
And Pierce will be going to the line to shoot 2. And just getting set to return Ryan Robertson to the game. Pierce misses this one. Robertson back.
Kansas free throw shooting is a little suspect in this second half. It's a club that came in shooting 65%, and usually Roy Williams' clubs are usually around that 70% number.
Pierce hits this one. Pierce over 70% for the year, coming in at 72. He has 21 tonight. 64-52. Strong and Prater out front for Vanderbilt. This is Strong. Takes it inside. It's going to crack. He got the little finger roll for a pair and drew the whistle.
This play by this sophomore, James Strong. Bredikoff reached down there and grabbed him and threw him into the fire out there, and he's responded very well. It's a pretty good move right there. He goes down the lane. He's got a defender in front of him, one in back of him. And still he's able to get the ball to go in and maybe a three-point opportunity.
Third foul on Paul Pierce, and he hits that. So now it's a 9-point game with 9:57. There's no quit in Vanderbilt. Robertson inside, drops it off for Pierce. And here's a whistle. Pierce answers with two.
Just when Vandy was closing that gap, Robertson comes up with a big pass.
The points charged with his third foul.
Ryan Robertson getting it done again. This club is 26-1 in the last 2 years when he starts at the point guard position. That's one of the reasons why, delivering passes just like that. I like this young man a lot.
There's a brother who plays at St. Louis U.
Shooting one shot.
Robertson out of St. Charles, Missouri. And Pierce back to the line, 23 tonight. He makes it 24. A 12-point spread. Here's Maddox back to Bates, and it's rejected by Earl, picked up by Pierce.
Boy, is Lester Earl ever quick to that basket.
It's so tough to come back against Kansas. Now Thomas with an open look. Ball tipped around and finally a whistle. And it's coming against Kansas. Earl charged with a foul over the back.
He is so active. I mean, he's got great jumps in those legs. What's this block right here? See, Maddox gives it up. Bates is there. Forget it. Lester Earl's around that post position in that paint area. You've got to be aware that he's there.
Prater into LaPointe. Now Bates pointing. And there's Earl again. Earl comes down with a basketball after the block. Robertson. Ahead Thomas. Robertson down to Earl, working on Bates. Tries to drop it low. Gregory a reverse. It will not go. Rolls off. Bates rebounding. Now Maddox. Maddox a give to Prater over Robertson. That's a three. A three-pointer for Prater, who now has 10. And a 20-second timeout. Vanderbilt with 8:53 left. Vanderbilt just continues to try to come back. Now down 67-58.
Well, Austin Bates is probably wondering why he has to receive the ball and look up and see Lester Earl standing there every time he goes in. Earl's rejected 2 of his shots down in that paint area. But Jan Van Bredikoff's club has not quit. Keep battling back. Still a lot of time left in this game. 8:53.
Lester Earl, a big addition, playing his 4th game for Kansas, transferring from LSU.
Go back and look at it again. Look at Bates. He's saying, "Oh, I got this one easily." And here comes Earl floating through the air again.
And there was Thomas to save it. Nice numbers for Earl. 10 rebounds, 13 points, and 3 blocks. Robertson controlling the basketball for Kansas.
Vandy has never gone away from this matchup zone. They have played it all night long.
And Pierce, 2 more. He has 26.
So last night it was Thomas. Tonight it's Pierce and Earl.
Into the corner for 3. Strong short, follows it back up and in, and a whistle.
Is that going to be Earl?
Count the bucket, and the foul is on Earl. 3 now on Earl.
Watch Strong come back and get his own miss. Works his way in, knows it's short, grabs it, leans his body in, takes the blow, and another three-point opportunity for this sophomore.
Gregory leaves. Branford back in for Kansas.
Well, he's really played well off the bench for Vanderbilt tonight, and one of the reasons why they keep battling back against this Kansas club.
Strong missed the shot. 9-point ball game, Kansas. Branford, he'll pop it. No good. Maddox with a rebound. Vanderbilt, the pass to Strong. Strong down to the baseline to corral it. Takes it inside. Now Prater. It will not go. The point with the tip back, and it's a 7-point game at the 7:50 mark.
And now all of a sudden that Kansas backboard work has gone away. Vandy's starting to get some of their own stick backs.
Robertson down off the glass. It will not go, but another whistle. Robertson is fouled as he tried to come up with a pair. Billy Despaltro charged with a foul.
Watch the inside board work off of the glass. Prater going strong to the basket, goes up for the shot. I'm not too sure he didn't charge on that one. No call, but the good follow-up on the inside, and a basket LaPointe right there to knock it in.
That foul on Despaltro, his fourth, with 7:37 left. And Robertson goes to the line. Roy Williams looking on as Robertson, a 72% shooter, converts the first one. He has 8 points. Now Bates is back in. Despaltro leaving with those 4 personal fouls. Eric Chenoweth returns to the game. Branford departs. Robertson has another shot coming. Kansas built a 20-point lead. Vanderbilt cut it to 7. It's now 8. And Robertson in and out. Still at 8. Strong. Prater. Front court. Maddox. This is a 3. Count it.
Wow.
Maddox with a big bucket.
It was in, it was out, it was in.
It's a 5-point game at 7:23. Maddox hits a big 3. And we have a timeout on the floor. 7:23 left to play. Vanderbilt back to within 5. Who has hit at least 1 3-point shot now in 23 consecutive games, and this one makes it a contest.
Good handoff that time by Atiba Prater. Look at this, out, and in again. How about it? Do you think they're excited? Yes, sir. Those 2 guards are for Vanderbilt. So is that bench. Here's the run, 26-11 in the last 8 minutes and 30 seconds.
Kansas with the basketball off the timeout. Robertson out front. And Chenoweth and Pierce. Earl and Thomas, the 5 on the floor for Kansas. Prater against Robertson. Strong out there with LaPointe. Ball knocked out of bounds. Bates and Maddox making up the 5 for Vanderbilt.
Now all of a sudden that defense starts to pick up a little bit too. The offense gives your defense a lot of confidence. You go out there and play a little bit harder. Vandy's extended that defense down to 7 seconds.
Pierce with a jumper, and count that one, a big bucket. And Pierce steps up. He has 28. Maddox down to Bates against Chenoweth. It will not drop. Bates got a hand in there, could not corral it. Pierce out with the ball. Stolen from behind by Strong. Strong back into the front court down the lane. Blocked by Chenoweth. Robertson, here's Pierce, who had it stripped. Now he'll go to the bucket. It's going to go in, and he is fouled by LaPointe.
He knew he was going to get fouled and still got it in.
Count the bucket, 30 for Pierce. Fouled by LaPointe.
Eric Chenoweth's got all of this going by that good block defensively. Strong tried to go in there. The big 7-footer got it out. Robertson gets it ahead to Pierce. Pierce finishes. He knows he's going to get hammered. Still got it in the basket. That's a big play.
So Pierce with 30. That equals a career high, and the 3rd time he's hit that mark. His best night of the season. This one will not drop him. Despaltro back in for LaPointe, who also has 4 fouls. Despaltro pulling that one down. And here's Prater fouled as he started to race inside the paint. Chenoweth got him on the push. 3 fouls on Chenoweth. 6:25 left. Will be in the bonus.
Vanderbilt had cut that lead down to 5 points and back-to-back baskets by Paul Pierce. A little pull-up jump shot and a run out, and missed the opportunity for a 3-point chance.
Prater hits this one. That's 11 for Prater. His high is 15 against Furman. He hits them both. Robertson handling the ball. Vanderbilt needs a stop here. Robertson looking it over. Back to Pierce. Baseline. Squares. A little long. Chenoweth rebound. Takes it down. Out to Earl. Back out front.
Chenoweth was very fortunate that ball wasn't stolen. Good steal by Strong.
Robertson stepped in with a bounce pass, and Strong intercepts. Prater. Bates looking for room, and he walked around Chenoweth.
Tonight's attendance, 10,000.
So Bates turns it over. Kansas gets it back, leading by 7.
That's a case of Austin Bates trying to do too much and really had nowhere to go with the basketball. Chenoweth with a good defensive stop.
So now it's up to the Vanderbilt defense again, looking for another stop against Kansas, the 3rd-ranked team in the country. Ryan Robertson, a lot of poise at the point guard position. Baseline against Despoltro, and he hits a big 2.
You know, we've talked a lot about Paul Pierce, but Ryan Robertson also has been death for this Vanderbilt club. Every time they start to make a run, it's either been Pierce or Robinson that stepped up.
And Robertson has 10 points tonight. That bucket puts him in double figures. Strong. Maddox got a man in the air. Pops for 3. Count it. And he's fouled. He's fouled by Earl. So Maddox hits another 3. He's the man who hit the 3 to close it to 5. Now he has 10 points in this game, and he'll be going to the line.
Not often you have a chance to see a 4-point play, but this one could happen right here. Look at this nice pump fake. Here comes Earl, jumps right into him. Ball's already gone. He got Billy Thomas to take that fake, and now Maddox has a chance to walk to that line and get Vandy right back in this game and get it down to 5.
Earl has 4 fouls, and Maddox makes it a 5-point game again. He has 11. Chenoweth. Thomas and Prater the match. Pierce, and there's a steal. It's Strong, James Strong, and an interception by Robertson on a pass intended for Prater. Prater comes out holding his side off the steal by Robertson.
And once again, it's Robertson that bails them out.
And Robertson is fouled by LaPointe.
Dwayne, I always like to see situations where clubs get in distress. Kansas has been in distress because Vanderbilt has put them back on their heels. And watch the guys that step up when they're in distress. Ryan Robertson and Paul Pierce have been the 2 guys that have done it for Roy Williams' club tonight.
And Robertson will be going to the line. Prater still trying to walk off whatever discomfort he had when Robertson came up with the steal off that long pass. And Robertson missed the shot.
Usually very reliable at that stripe. 72% for the year.
This one would not go. Wow. 2 big misses. Prater. Back out for Strong, and Prater on the right side. Drew Maddox. He has closed the gap to 5 twice. Takes it in off the glass and makes it a 3-point game.
Nice move. He had thoughts of giving the ball up, and nobody was open, so he laid it off the glass.
So Maddox makes it a 3-point game. He has 13 tonight. Under 4 left to play. Thomas is fouled on a hold by Maddox. 3:55 left. That's his 3rd foul.
Let's go back and take a look at Drew Maddox on Vanderbilt's offense. Watch him go down the lane. Now he's got this opening. He sees it. He's looking for somebody to pass to. Hangs in the air and is able to get it off of the glass.
Shooting 2 shots.
Kansas normally very good from the line, Larry, but not tonight.
Yeah, this is a club that year in and year out, you can be just almost automatic from the stripe. They got one there from Thomas, which makes them 8 for 20.
Hey, sure.
Thomas has 16. This is a tough Vanderbilt team, giving a good account of itself tonight against Kansas. And Thomas steps up to the line and hits 2. So it's back to a 5-point spread, 78-73. Timeout on the floor. In Honolulu for the final 3:55 of this one. Kansas leading Vanderbilt 78-73. Vanderbilt will not go away. Close the gap to 3 at the 4:06 mark and now stands at 5. 2 full timeouts remaining for each team. 1:20. Vanderbilt 10 team fouls, which means Kansas will get 2 shots from this point on. Both teams in the bonus. Vanderbilt will have the basketball to Spaltro, and they're playing with 4 fouls. LaPointe also has 4. Lester Earl has 4 for Kansas.
Well, you made a great point off air while you and I were talking. This Vanderbilt club has not given up tonight, whatever the outcome of this game. And there's another one inside for Vandy.
Maddox on the assist, and DeSpaltro with a pair. He has 10.
I was going to say Vanderbilt has really given a good account of themselves tonight. They really have played very gutsy.
They have indeed, coming in with just 1 loss, 10-1. Here's Thomas. Thomas steps up. Well, there's another big bucket. He hit those 2 free throws, and here's a field goal for him. 19. Bates turns off the glass. Count it.
Nobody's guarding inside for Kansas. That was 2 easy buckets. Vandy was just not getting that in the first half, and now it's opening up down inside.
24 for Bates tonight. 80-77 Kansas. A little better than 3 minutes to play. Now Pierce takes it in. Fake, Chenoweth, and there's a whistle and a travel. We'll turn it back the other way.
Eric Chenoweth had a wide open shot from about 8 feet. He wanted to get a little closer, and it cost him.
The Commodores of Vanderbilt get the basketball back with 2 minutes and 59 seconds to play. Down by 3. Prater drops it off from Maddox. Top of the circle for 3 to tie. The game tied at 80. 2:44 left to play.
Good screen set out front, and Maddox delivered.
Maddox has delivered in 3 key situations. Now a foul there as Thomas found it tough going in heavy traffic. Foul by Prater.
This is a play that Vandy runs a lot. You can see Bates come out and set that screen, which freed Maddox. He'll take the ball from Prater, come right around the top of the circle, and leads cheers for his own shot.
A long way back here for Vanderbilt. At one point down by 20. The game tied at 80 with 2:35 to play, and Thomas at the line. This one will not go. Kansas continues to have a tough night at the free throw line as Earl returns to the game, replacing Chenoweth. Earl has 4 fouls.
Jayhawks now 9 of 22 from the free throw line.
Thomas hits this one to give Kansas the 1-point lead. There's the mini run over the last 2:45 at 13-5. Prater out front. Oh, he's done a nice job. This sophomore at the point. Inside Bates spinning over Earl. Not going to go. Pierce with the rebound.
Pretty good defense that time by Lester Earl. Didn't take the fake. Made Bates come up a little short.
Bradford finds Pierce inside. In and out. Earl there following it. Could not finish it. Strong down with the basketball, and Prater comes back. Vandy down by 1 with 1:59 left. And Vanderbilt calls a timeout. Vanderbilt down 81-80.
ESPN's presentation of NCAA basketball is brought to you by Miller Genuine Draft, who reminds you it's time for better beer draft, and by your select GM Goodwrench Service Plus dealers. The plus means better.
Kansas holding on to a 1-point lead. 81-80 with 1:59 left to play. Vanderbilt taking a timeout here. It's been a long battle back for Vanderbilt. Commodores will have the basketball. They've been led by Austin Bates. They've been led by Prater and Strong, two sophomore guards out front, and Drew Maddox. Here's the timeout situation. Possession arrow to Vanderbilt.
This possession is so important for Vandy. Could give them the lead.
Here's Maddox. A three. Lets it fly. Not going to go this time. And Robertson covers up and lets the ball go out of bounds. Well, Maddox had pulled him within 5 at the 7:23 mark. Had pulled him within 3 at the 4:06 mark. And it tied the game at 2:44. Went for the lead there. Not to be. Now Bradford steps in. Drops it low. The ball off to Pierce. Off the glass and in.
Well, Paul Pierce has had an outstanding game.
Pierce has 32, a career high. Prater to Strong. And out of bounds. A big turnover. Now Vanderbilt wants a 20-second timeout here with 1:25 left. Bojan Van Bredikoff using a 20-second timeout after his team had tied it. The last full timeout, they were down by 1. Be sure and stay with ESPN following our game. Rich Ice and Stuart Scott coming along with Sports Center. Bulls back in sync. We'll go holiday bowling in this bowl season. And North Carolina cruises into that #1 spot.
I saw a lot of cruise boats today from where we were sitting.
Yes, we did.
I don't think North Carolina was on any of them.
1:25 left to play. Kansas battling to advance to the title round tomorrow against host Hawaii.
Vandy with a 3/4 court trap.
Down to the baseline, across he goes inside Bradford, and he delivers two.
Nice maneuver. Kansas keeping their poise.
Now it's 5 with 1:05 to play. Maddox looking for a chance to unleash. Down to the baseline, back inside. Spaltro, and it's rejected here. Bradford got a hand on it. Earl in the front court. Robertson. Bradford. 45 seconds.
Got to play keep away now. Make Vandy come out.
Pierce. And there's a foul to stop the clock at just under 36 seconds. Bates charged with a foul.
Kansas up 1. Maddox misses the 3-point attempt to give them the lead. Kansas comes right back. Bradford with a nice play. Pierce with a nice play. And now Kansas with a chance to go up by 7 if Thomas can convert 2.
Shooting 2.
Thomas, another good night. And he hits this one. One of the infrequent trips to the free throw line for Thomas this year. He has 21 points tonight. He had 27 against the victory over Ohio State in last night's game. 2 big ones for Thomas. 7 points now. Kansas up. 30 seconds left. Vanderbilt with the ball. Prater down to the baseline. Bates, this is a 2. On to go. And timeout Vanderbilt. 21 seconds left. 60. That's 26 for Bates. 87-82 the score. We'll be back. Points a game. Vanderbilt coming in, averaging 82.2, and that's right where we are now.
Dwayne, when I look back over those last couple of minutes for Kansas, you know, with LaFrentz out of the lineup, who has stepped up big for them? Paul Pierce has. Billy Thomas has. Ryan Robertson obviously has. Nick Bradford has played very well. Always nice when you've got guys who come up every night. Look at the numbers for Paul Pierce tonight. 32 points.
Kansas will have the basketball. Vanderbilt putting on the pressure. Strong trying to get Thomas. Now Pierce with the ball. Maddox working against him. Fouls him. Maddox says, what took you so long? That's 4 on Maddox. Stops the clock with 17 seconds left. So we'll go to the Kansas end. Pierce will be going to the line. A career night in the scoring department for Paul Pierce, the All-America candidate. He stepped up in the postseason run a year ago. It's this one.
A lot of people going into the year last year, I don't think really realized how good a player Paul Pierce really was. I mean, he was overshadowed by a great player at the point guard, Jacques Vaughn, and also by Rafe LaFrentz. But Paul Pierce really has great credentials. This guy is going to be a big-time player in the NBA. He's going to finish up a great Kansas career.
And he hits both at the line. 89-82, and Kansas calls for a full timeout. So Pierce converts 2 from the line. Vanderbilt will have the ball down by 7 when we return. By 7, 89-82. 17.3 seconds separates Kansas from the opportunity to meet Hawaii in the final of the Rainbow Classic. Hawaii with a convincing victory over Nebraska in the game preceding this one. The championship game on ESPN. 12:30 a.m. Wednesday. That's Eastern time. The point inbounding to Prater.
They got a few Jayhawk fans here who made their way across the Pacific.
Under 10, LaPointe, a 3 and an out, not going to go. The Spaltro shot rejected. He'll try it again, and boy, Pierce blocked it once more. Peppers up, and that's the game. Pierce stepping up. Kansas holds.